Good morning, brothers and sisters. Let's get into the Word. Today we read about the iconic feeding of the 5,000. The context here was that Jesus was met with a crowd that was hungry for his teaching. And so began a long session where Jesus taught, presumably until the late evening. How I would love to be a part of that crowd. Much of the story is told from the perspective of Jesus and his disciples, how they were going to feed the 5,000, Jesus' conversation with his disciples. Maybe with that perspective, it helps us be better Christians. Yes, servant leaders. It shows us that God will provide. Let's share the riches of the earth with one another. Let's live in community where every person is given the opportunity to know Christ equally, to be sustained by God just because they're a child of God, our worthiness as his children. Yes, but let's now look at the crowd instead, experiencing that day through their eyes. Perhaps I have been living in harsh conditions. I have been searching for spiritual food. I've lived in sin, and I've lived in self-hatred, guilt for so long. And along comes the one. Perhaps I didn't feel worthy to listen to him in the temples. But he's here now, in this field, away from the constraints of societal judgment. I will listen. That may be the mindset of the 5,000 who were there that day, who walked out with him into that quiet place. Brothers and sisters, there were 5,000 men in this crowd, 5,000 people and more, with unique lives and pains that all had a personal encounter with Jesus. They had no regard to search for food. I know I would. Once I see the sun is coming down and I am in a field alone with 5,000 people with no shops, no fish, I didn't bring food with me, I might walk out and search for food. But brothers and sisters, they all sat and waited for Jesus to continue his teaching. They had no expectation to eat, or at least that's what we were told. I believe that they had no regard to search for food because they were overflowing with God's love. It is the same love that fed them later on. I find myself within that 5,000. My Lent was full of ups and downs. And so in this Eastertide, I desire to replenish my soul with his love for me. What a blessing it must be to yearn for him just as that crowd did that day.